recognize the ascending aorta. Okay, the ascending aorta is only to the first branch point. Okay. Once you get to the branches, which are here and here, okay, what's between the probe and my thumb is in fact the aortic arch. And then after the branches, from here going all the way down, that's the descending thoracic aorta. You got it. All right. Coming back to the aortic arch, again, this segment right here. The first vessel that comes off is the brachiocephalic artery. That's excellent. The first branch off of that, going up this side of the neck, is the left common carotid artery. The one that comes up on this side that kind of blew up a little bit, this would be the
right common carotid.
Awesome. And the last branch off the brachiocephalic, in fact, being right here, sorry, buried a little bit, that right there. Okay.
Subclavian.
That is the right subclavian, and it stays that until it hits this, the rib cage, because as soon as you pass through the rib cage, it's now become the right axillary artery, and now well down into the arm, it's now become the right brachial artery. Okay, going back to the aortic arch, here is the second branch that comes off of that. That is the
Left
subclavian artery till it hits the body wall, in which case it becomes the left axillary artery. There you go, right there. And then when it gets into the arm, left brachial artery. Okay. Since we're in the same region, we'll go through the veins. Again, we're going to start at the heart, and we'll start with this large one that is going in a backwards direction. You can see it kind of poking out amongst the adipose tissue. That is the post cava. Since that's the post cava, that makes this one the pre-cava. Coming off of the pre-cava, going to where the sternum, internal memory vein. Also coming off the post cava, tucked behind the lung here.
Oh, the zygos.
This is the exzygous vein. Okay. At the very anterior most part of the pre-cava, I have this structure between the probe and my thumb. That is the
left
brachiocephalic vein. Okay. Because that branch is there, this first branch going this way is the
external jugular.
Left external jugular vein. Okay. Because that's where that comes off, and here's the next branch. That means that the tiny little piece between my probe and thumb right there, that must be the left subclavian vein. You got it. All right. Now, once you get to the end of the left subclavian vein, one of its branches seems to just simply disappear. This is the left subscapular vein, whereas the other one continues onwards. This would be the left axillary, left brachial, becoming. There you go. Left median cubital vein. Okay. The nice thing about this is, of course, even though in this case, it actually shows up pretty well. The idea is that no matter what cat you have, if you can see it on the left side as far as those veins go, it's the very same thing on the right. So, for instance, this is actually the right
brachiocephalic.
Yeah, let me get very specific. This piece right here that I got the probe underneath, right brachiocephalic. This piece, that because it's going up this side, is the right external jugular vein. From here to the next set of branches is the
right subclavian.
You got it, right subclavian. I know it doesn't show up as well, but there's blue here that disappears.
The right subscapular.
From here to roughly in here, this is the
right
axillary, becoming the right brachial, and then
median cubital vein.
You got it. The only other vein of note, which I didn't think that anybody in this class had, right? Did anybody have? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Just put it back so it looks in the proper orientation. Remember that between the two external jugular veins, this one going across, that is the transverse jugular. Yeah. the other class that didn't have one. Okay. Everybody good with those vessels?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions before we move on? No? Okay. In that case, let me take a look. All right. Oh, I did forget one set.
Oh, pulmonary.
Yep. So this one, nice bright and blue.
Artery.
That is the left pulmonary artery, and these that are nice bright and red,
Left pulmonary veins.
left pulmonary veins. There you go. All right. Now, just to rearrange this. And my apology. Yep, this is what I want. Don't keep on switching. Feel like I'm playing 3-card money. All right. So in this particular case, I know it's going to be a little bit difficult for everybody just because of the way the cat is positioned. But remember that the vessel here that we described as the descending thoracic aorta, it's going to show up in the abdomen here along the spinal cord, ending here as the
Descending
abdominal aorta. You got it. The first branch point, which is this,
Celiac.
that is the celiac artery. Okay. The very first branch, which you have to pull towards you because it typically heads toward the right side of the body. This is the, that's the hidden hepatic. There you go. The one that is very obviously going into the stomach is the gastric. The one heading up to this organ, splenic, going into the spleen. All right, going back to the descending abdominal aorta, you have this next vessel. That's exactly right, the anterior mesenteric artery. Our next artery heading left and right would be this one going into the kidney.
Left renal.
Left renal artery. We're going to have one that is heading in left and right direction. You can see it right there going downwards. This is the...
That's another mesenteric. It's a posterior.
That is the left gonadal artery. And because this is a male, it's going down to the spermatocord. Okay. Remember that in a female, this artery would come out and go straight across, go to the ovary. Okay. In fact, it's a little bit difficult to see because of all the stuff, but you can kind of just make out right there.
Yeah.
That's the gonadal artery in the female. Okay, right in there. All right. Coming back to this particular cat, the idea is the next vessel is heading into the material around the large intestine. Okay, so that vessel would be the
Posterior mesenteric.
posterior mesenteric artery. You got it. Our next set is a left-right set. So this particular red vessel would be left iliolumbar artery. At the end of the post cava, remember we have a set of V's. Okay, here's the first set.
External.
That's
Iliac.
exactly. Yeah, that's it. Left external iliac artery, which continues on in the leg to become the left femoral artery. All right. This, the next set of V's, this one would be the,
Internal.
you got it, left internal iliac artery, and the one right in the middle,
Oh, the caudal.
that's the caudal, right there going to where the tail would be. Okay. And remember, it's that one right there. All right, as far as the veins in this region, all right, again, this big vessel, just a continuation of what we saw here. This is the post cava. We can see a nice bright blue one going into the fatty area above the kidney. That is the, that's right, the left adrenal lumbar vein. The one that heads into the actual kidney itself, left renal. If we go down here, the one by our nice bright red, that blue one is the
Left
lumbar vein. Okay. In this particular cat, remember that at the end of the post cava, from this branch point right here to where you leave the end of the post cava, that is the left common iliac vein. Okay. This particular branch point, let me see if I can arrange it so everybody can see it. Where the branch point occurs, and let me lift it up. What's on the probe right now, that's heading into the pelvis. That is the, that's correct, the left internal iliac vein. And from that point